Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to this reading. This is the last reading that I'm going to do until the next general collective reading, which is in a couple of weeks. And so this is going to be a reading about the next 6 months, the energy for the rest of the year. And I can already feel a shifting in myself, my ascendant, my Mercury, other places. So, what's the message for the next 6 months? I'm also going to be turning off all comments on all videos for the rest of the year. I've absolutely loved reading your comments because for the most part they have been supportive and loving and beautiful. But lately there's some angry people, and I am not going to read those comments every time I do a video. So you can always go over to the community tab and leave me a comment there on one of my posts, and it will notify me. Page of Swords, Three of Wands, and the Sun. Three of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Nine of Swords. So everybody's going to be looking at what they are building. The Hermit, the Three of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. This energy of starting to look at what am I building? Is it really in line with who I am? Is it really in line with the best and most highest good of myself and the people I love and the world? Two of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles and the Hierophant. So it's going to be a 6-month period of sowing seeds and learning. Not just learning about yourself, but learning about humanity, learning about the power of human beings. It's going to be deep kind of learning experience. Also, there's going to be like ups and downs in your energy that you're going to have to balance and deal with. Two of Pentacles, using a skill. So this is balancing your emotional world and your real world, your physical world, your finances, your energy, your resources. Because that kind of skill and that balance sows the seeds and basically allows you to enter this Hierophant, which is a doorway to learning. And it's all about your actions, and your ability to receive information has to be in alignment, it has to be balanced. Sorry. So I'm just going to clarify this reading. The the High Priestess. So this is with the Page of Swords. This is news that people are going to need to prepare, Three of Wands, to meet themselves in this threshold. It's a new journey. So it's preparation for a new adventure. Five of Cups, to see your own pain and why you have that pain. And Six of Swords, so building the health of your mind and your mental state is really important. So I think that's part of when I said people are going to be initiated, part of the initiation is to meet their pain. It comes up to the surface in different and various ways. For example, people leaving comments on channels because they don't like the message, or they're just having a really bad day and they decide to leave a negative comment on someone's work or someone's channel. So that kind of stuff, that kind of thing that people's pain is going to come to the surface, so they have to deal with it. They have to see it. That's what this initiation is for most people. But it's interesting because most people will not understand that. They won't realize that. They're not conscious that that's what's going on. Because people don't watch enough astrology. They don't look at their chart. They don't watch tarot for the right reasons. They don't do things for the right reasons. So it's a mass initiation the next 6 months into facing your own pain. And for some people it's going to be really difficult because they're not conscious of that process. So the Six of Swords is it's the ability to go into a state of mind that is not only peaceful and creates inner peace, especially in the realm of the head, the mind, but also is the way that you think is effective. The way that you think is effective in how you deal with problems, in how you deal with common sense, and not how you deal with it, but your common sense and the things that you've learned, your qualifications, your experience, your skill. And this is also learning new things, absorbing new information. And like I said in the last collective reading, the Six of Swords is being able to see the signposts intuitively and following that flow of thinking rather than going into a negative place. And so there's going to be a lot of evaluation of how people actually think, how they think, and what they're building. Three of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles with the Hermit. So he is diving deep. He's diving to the bottom of the ocean to find personal treasures that have been not in his awareness. And it takes a mammoth watery beast to be able to go to that depth. That's why it's showing the whale. And it takes strength. It takes intelligence. The hermit is a card of an archetype that goes into a cave of darkness to learn more of what is in the darkness. And he also has a lantern, so he's lighting his way in the dark. And he also has some kind of companion in animal spirit in most decks. This one is some kind of bird. So this is foresight and seeing things from a higher perspective. So he's on a journey into some kind of darkness to find valuable information about the self in regards to the thought process and the building structures, energy structures that the self has built. This means relationships, life situations, belief systems, everything that builds your life. 10 of Wands with the 9 of Swords. So I feel like people are a little bit feeling like it's too much. 10 of Wands. Especially people who are not conscious of this kind of journey into the self and process of finding a pathway to feeling whole and complete, finding parts of your soul, parts of yourself that are needed to basically go into this Hierophant, because we start off with the High Priestess, move into the Hierophant. So this dark cave that the Hermit goes through is daunting for some people who are conscious of it. For others, I feel like they don't even have any awareness of it, and they're dealing with a lot of stuff. 10 of Wands, 9 of Swords, anxiety, overwhelm, wondering when things will finish, feeling so overwhelming, because the 10 of Wands shows a creature who has built some kind of structure. But I feel like this energy is doing it because that's how I know how to do it. And I'm just going to continue to do that until it's all over. This kind of energy, which creates anxiety. 10 of Swords. So your ability to balance your emotions and your actions is what is going to be the slow process over the next 6 months of removing anything that the Hermit finds in the cave that is detrimental to personal growth. Because the 10 of Swords is all about removing things that are taking up a lot of energy. Codependencies, really old traumas that have not been healed. And then the Star. So the Star with the 7 of Pentacles, this is seeds being sown that are of an origin of the stars. And the highest vibration of the self. Because I feel like over the next 6 months, as you go into this cave of finding things in the dark, things things that have made you who you are and any kind of false structures, any false way of thinking or detrimental belief systems to your own personal growth. It's the recognition. So when the hermit sees something in the dark, the recognition is like the lantern, and this belief is the belief system that is toxic or detrimental or whatever it is that you find during the next 6 months is lit up. You can see it. The recognition of it gives it to you. So then you're conscious of it. And that's when you can do the work. Two of Pentacles, this is skill and balance, emotional balance and physical action. And being conscious of your every move. So then you see parts of yourself that are of a higher origin, and you are able to plant seeds. And then we have the Three of Swords with the Hierophant. So we have the bird, looks like a very similar, no it doesn't actually, bird with the Three of Swords. Healing. So then you can learn how to heal these wounds. You will be given knowledge through a process of self-discovery that sows seeds of healing, not only for yourself but for humanity. Integrity. For those on a path of integrity and self-discovery and self-healing, you will have clarity and good fortune. For those not on a pathway of integrity, it will be hard for them to see. Like I said, people that are not conscious, it will be hard for them to navigate through this energy that I think is going to be pretty difficult. And the more integrity you have, just as Pisces reading said, the more wisdom you will gain, and clarity and good fortune. So the good fortune is about healing the wounds of the self and the planet. And I really feel that this ability to be able to identify parts of the self that need to be healed, that is kind of transmuted into seeds that you sow. And then there will be rebirth. So for those who do not have integrity and are going to be in an energy of looking out for themselves, let's see what the message is. King of Wands. You'll probably be seeing a lot of these archetypes around. Wheel of Fortune, meeting fate, meeting destiny. And the Page of Cups with the Ace of Pentacles. So, Page of Cups is youth, new emotional experience. So I feel that people that are not conscious of this process will be meeting their destiny in some way, in some situation, which will come in as a new opportunity, a new emotional experience. And I have a feeling that they will think of it as an opportunity, an opportunistic new thing. But not everything is as it seems. And I feel like the Wheel of Fortune with this message with the King of Wands is that he or she will be meeting their they will eventually go through this process or have the opportunity to go through this process. But I feel that people that are being initiated and they have no awareness of themselves or any kind of idea of personal growth, because some people just don't. They just don't have any self-awareness, and the world is a place that they view as things that they can basically take from, and so they will be given some kind of new emotional experience, an opportunity as an initiation into self-awareness and all of that, all of the stuff that comes with that. So there are many different layers of consciousness, and I feel that for the most part people are in this kind of awareness of looking out for themselves, which is like a natural human thing to do. If you think about it, it's a very human thing to do. It's not a spiritual thing, it's a human thing. King of Wands, having a new emotional experience, seeing an opportunity, and being completely oblivious that it is a Wheel of Fortune event. Even people who are aware and they're in a process of self-discovery and self-growth, personal evolution, spiritual evolution, have been through this before. It is the way that you are initiated into spiritual evolution of the human experience. And it takes a fiery kind of transmutation to get there. So I'm going to bring in some astrological cards. Uranus. A revolution, breakthrough, brainstorming, originality, insights, awakening. Technology, innovation, humanitarianism, reform, surprise, freedom, experimentation, the unexpected. One thing that I kind of realized about Uranus is that because it's with my moon in the 8th house, is that it does bring breakthroughs. Unexpectedly. But I can't go into it. So then we have the Sun. essence, energy, self-awareness, life force, spirit, creativity, masculinity, distinction, childishness, ego, individuality, solitude, expression, self-sufficiency, heartbeat, father, Chiron. So healing powers, growth, release, personal development, inherited issues, self-doubt, generational trauma, shame, sensitivity, forgiveness, superpowers, divinity, cleansing, softness, and pain. So, revolution, it's a revolutionary time towards healing of the self. That's what I think it's saying. But it won't appear that way. It appears to most people like needing to prepare, needing to look out for themselves, needing to look out for their immediate family. It's a new emotional experience, but they're looking at the what can they get? They're looking for the pentacle. But in reality, I feel like it's a revolutionary time for self-healing and growth. So I was thinking how if you don't have your astrological chart, like if you've never seen it, now's the time to really look at it and go to an astrologer to help you to read it. I remember years ago I was curious and I bought one of those like $30 reports online, which was computer generated, and it was entertainment, it was interesting, it was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But I never really looked into the deeper astrology of my own personal chart until probably in the last few years. And it has given me so many valuable tools to work with, to understand myself. It's no coincidence that we are living in the age of technology and we have access to see our blueprint, our birth chart, on a piece of paper. So that is significant. That's a significant thing for this age. And I feel that not enough people do that. And also what I've noticed is more people are interested in tarot on YouTube than they are in astrology, which is kind of interesting, which it tells me that people are trying to turn to an occult divination, form of divination, to feed their need for answers. And the only way that you find the answers is going into this cave. Ten of Pentacles is the tree of life. It's the to just say it generally, it is a pathway to wholeness within the self. And with the Hermit here, the next 6 months are going to be that kind of, it's going to be that kind of journey where you're going to have to face yourself, your pain. You've got the sun here with the Five of Cups. Sun here with Chiron and Uranus, revolutionary time to go through a process of self-discovery. And then you can identify what needs to be healed within yourself. So let's bring in some crystals. What do the crystals say for the next 6 months? Also, you have to go into the Hierophant, this gateway of learning, with a desire for learning how to heal. Desire to learn how to heal yourself. It's also a huge lesson for people in taking responsibility. You're going to have to do it yourself. You're going to have to find these places that need healing through experiential circumstances. If you're in the King of Wands category of looking after yourself and looking for opportunities. Looking after yourself in a selfish way, looking for opportunities. A lot of you that are empaths have been with people like that. And they may have been empaths also. But if they were damaged and have not been through any kind of healing process. So they take on the characteristics of narcissism, even though internally they are just wounded and don't know how to heal themselves. So there's this like looking out for the self and what can I get? What can I gain from this person, from this situation that's going to help me? And I think it's going to be difficult for those kinds of people, or people that are in that kind of mentality, because this is all about taking responsibility. Nobody else is going to help you find your deep, dark wounds, find the source of your pain, find the source of why the things that you've built in your life have been a detrimental system of thinking. Peridot. So this is about emotional cleansing. A lot of things need to be cleansed, purified. We're in the eye of the storm. It's also about finding this safe haven so that you can do some emotional cleansing. So Peridot frees the mind from unwelcome, envious thoughts. It's transmutative and purifying. You may possessively cling to the past or beat yourself up over mistakes. Detoxify your emotions, learn to forgive and let go. Follow your own life plan without judging yourself or being envious of others. You have the power to go through fiery transmutation, exactly what I said, and emerge transformed. There's no coincidence that when I do readings, I use words that later come through with the reading of a card and I'm reading it. It's, my style of reading is very synchronistic. And the way that my intuition works is that I get words in my head. And it seems like it's my own thoughts. But a lot of the time when I'm reading, I'll say things and it'll come up with the crystal cards. So, fiery transmutation. That's why we have the King of Wands, Wheel of Fortune. This King of Wands is meeting his destiny for fiery transformation. I feel that represents most of the collective and they have no idea. They're just looking for opportunity. But for everyone else who is conscious of themselves and is in a process of healing, in a process of personal development and empowerment, what this is finding this safe haven. The hermit finds the safe haven, which allows the self to go as deep as they desire to go. Because I think with this Five of Cups, there's going to be something over in the next 6 months where, and I think multiple times, where you will be shown your pain through your self-expression. Like yourself will show yourself the pain that you still hold on to. Because a lot of the time we have no idea that we're holding on to the pain of something that was 20 years ago. It becomes like embedded and we're not conscious of it anymore, so it has to come to the surface to be cleansed and transmutated. So so the peridot is about using energy wisely, so teaching the self how to be efficient with your energy, your thoughts, your energy, your money, anything in your life, your resources, using it wisely, and also recognizing how outside influences operate in your life. Learn to rely on your own inner guidance. It indicates farewells and disappointments. So there may be some goodbyes and disappointments. You have a powerful destiny and great integrity, which is a message that came up, is this integrity. Those who don't have integrity will be going through this, meeting this wheel of fortune. Experience, event that will look like an opportunity and an emotional experience for themselves. And they'll be going through a process of initiation. In a sense, it's like this King of Wands is also wounded, and so that's why there's no reason for judgment in humanity, because we're all at different levels, different parts of life. And so this King of Wands representing like most of the collective that is unconscious or I should say operating at subconscious levels of interaction and self-expression, will eventually get to a place where they can create this sacred, safe haven space for themselves, so they're conscious of what they need to emotionally cleanse and recognize and understand about themselves. So, Eye of the Storm, safe haven. Eye of the Storm is a safe haven for your soul, a calm center no matter what upheavals may occur, a life support system during stressful times or serious illness. Hold on to it during challenges so that you keep things in perspective. There's it says that you may be allowing the changes and traumas of life to push you off center. Stress and pressure are a major cause of dis-ease. You could be focusing too closely on one aspect of life to the detriment of others. That's where the King of Wands archetype is. Focusing too closely on one aspect of life to the detriment of others and not looking at the wider picture. And so that this causes major dis-ease, major imbalance. So that it's saying it's time to relax and let go of your stress. Stay mindful rather than watchful. Excess adrenaline adversely affects your immune system. Switch on the positive potential in your cell walls. You can stay centered and calm no matter what storm rages around you. And this is about walking safely through the storm. And so let's see, I'm going to pull a crystal for the King of Wands. So I just have compassion for this King of Wands. This might be the asshole down the street that screams at his family. This might be, someone who's focused on their pentacles and their wealth, worried about what's going to happen to their bank account. Graphic smoky quartz and golden healer. The stabilizer. So this King of Wands is learning to go through a process of stabilization there, but their consciousness about the stabilization is just in a lower dimensional realm of thinking, until it is more about the stabilization of their emotions rather than their physical world. Healing can't happen. Yeah, so the healing insight is healing is found in the darkest depths of yourself, not in external forces. So the King of Wands archetype in the next 6 months is going to be looking at external things for their emotional experiences, their emotional healing. And if they're not even conscious of that, the King of Wands archetype is looking for financial stability, financial gain. And then the golden healer is ultimate healing. So he's learning that healing flows through you, and it's a process and it's not something that you do, because he's all about doing. He wants to do things and is unaware that he or she is a channel for Christ consciousness, or the divine, the source of all things, the higher self, God, whatever you want to think of it as. He is looking at what he can do and is not aware that he's a channel. And so this is most people. And golden healers are also imbued with powerful transformative healing energies. They are a catalyst for profound spiritual activation. And so the Wheel of Fortune here, and like I was saying, they will come into an emotional experience that will activate them in some way. And because he needs to learn that he is a channel, that he needs to learn more about himself. He or she, just talking about this archetype. King of Wands, which is representing those who are not in the energy of integrity, not doing things in their own best interest. So it's a revolutionary time for self-discovery and healing. What is the advice for the next 6 months? Three of Wands. So it starts out with the Three of Wands and the Fool. Plan your next steps with an eye to the long term. Have patience. There are more good things to come. Satisfaction from a job well done. If you take responsibility, if you put your energy into the long term and what you would like to create for yourself, for the world, for your family, have patience. Plan what it is that is your long term. Ace of Cups. Open your heart to love, the beginning of a new intimate relationship or the rebirth of a current one, the awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual epiphanies. I feel that this is self-love, the beginning of an intimate relationship with yourself that is all about rebirth and awakening of your psychic abilities. And it's also a time to find inner peace amidst the storm and the chaos. Three of Swords. So the people that you talk to, the people that are in your life, should be a source of comfort and love, and vice versa. These are the people that you want to be around. And it's saying that this is a sadness, this Five of Cups is a sadness that will heal with time, and you will grow stronger from this situation. And the Four of Wands. Be grateful, you have much to celebrate, deep feelings of peace and happiness, a contented personal life. And the Four of Wands is about a celebration. It is a milestone for humanity and the collective that are taking responsibility for their emotional cleansing. And it should be celebrated. I remember saying there's something that we need to celebrate, and I think this is what it is. It's people becoming aware that they are powerful people, and that this is an opportunity for sowing seeds of knowledge of healing. Let's just look at this before I go. Three of Swords to an oracle. Abundance. Because you're either going to be sowing seeds of destruction or sowing seeds of fertility and abundance. Energy. So I'm just going to read the abundance card because it's where is it? Associated with cinnamon. Wealth, money, and income. So Cinnamon's rich, warming fragrance has been associated with abundance since ancient Egyptian times. In the medieval era, lashings of cinnamon were used in both sweet and savory dishes at the tables of kings and aristocrats to demonstrate wealth and status. Cinnamon's use in money and success spells to generate prosperity is widely accepted. On a metaphysical level, cinnamon can restore confidence and transform misery to happiness. The priestess of abundance is surrounded by symbols of plenty. Gold coins and decorative pillars suggest luxurious surroundings. She stands under a herb wheel of cinnamon, cloves, and orange, botanicals known to symbolize prosperity. The red base chakra, responsible for attracting material wealth, is also represented. The goddess Eye symbolizes a desire for financial vitality and strength. So it's a time to start thinking about creative ways that you can generate wealth in your life, looking at how you can create different streams of income, not from just one source, but several. This could mean decluttering your home, selling, exchanging items you no longer need or want, or it could mean turning a hobby or skill into an enterprise that runs alongside your main job. So, sowing seeds of abundance on every level is what this is, the star, because the star energy is high. It's high vibration. It's innovation. It's Aquarius energy, and the Three of Swords here is like when you learn to sow, and this is going to go for me as well. You learn to sow the seeds of abundance, not destruction. And then it creates this new kind of energy in your life. Abundance means different things to different people. For some, abundance is an overseas holiday. For others, it's savings in the bank. So with the King of Wands, his idea of abundance would be this Ace of Pentacles, and might mean having enough money and a new relationship or an emotional experience, some kind of emotional because the King of Wands is about doing, he's about desire, he's about what can I do to better my environment, to better my life. He hasn't realized yet that he is a channel of light. And so his abundance is going to look like external things. So this is most people, and their abundance is going to look like external stuff. And so this is talking about inner abundance and how to heal the self to create that energy of abundance. It's a time without having to rush everywhere. So find out what abundance means for you and work out how you can include its essence in life. So that's the message for the next 6 months. And thank you to everyone who regularly watches the channel, and I feel your support and love. Thank you so much for everything. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you watching and leaving comments. For everyone else, it's kind of like straggles in because you're watching, tarot reading every day from whoever to try and gain some kind of answers. You need to take responsibility for your emotional cleansing and not look outside of yourself for answers. And if you keep looking for answers outside of yourself, this 6 months is going to be really hard. And that's just it. So I'm going to leave it there. Thanks so much. Sending lots of love. and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye.